So as you can see in table 1, you see that all of the trade integration, regional integration, productive integration, free movement of people, financial and macroeconomic have failed. All of the regional integrations across the continent. So it's not just ECOWAS. All of them have failed. We see a piercing chi-square value of only 20 and a likelihood ratio of 16. And then we have what? A asymptote significance of 0.222, which means it's not even close to 0.5 as an acceptable level of integration. In essence, no integration is actually taking place in Africa across the continent. And of course, the people who made up that come up with this, they are not going to say that, because that means that if there's nothing going and you say, why am I going to keep you to do a job? They lose their job. So they have to sanitize the truth. And this is where programs like Barrow's program comes in to say, this is the thing. I'm not an agent to be paid for telling the lies so that I can keep a job, but we can operate as scholars to say this is the reality. Now we can give you suggestions on how to fix or address the realities. This is the blessing of programs like MIRA. And of course, the e-clustering approach have all sorts of importance of times technology on innovative economic policy, and as I said, we live in exciting times. The cell phone is here, the computer is here. One can network. If you don't have a computer, even in the remotest village, information can be gotten, even from cell phones, and people can text, which can be put into a huge database. And then the e-clustering strategy proceeds in 7 steps. 1, you evaluate the strategy. You just don't go and throw in a strategy. That means that if MIRA is going to think ahead, his first job is to what? Evaluate what already exists. So that way he knows what position is coming from. And fortunately for Barrows, you already have six groups of scholars that have already started the ball this week. You see, I was telling you there's more to what we are doing, but you didn't believe me. See, it's coming. Okay, they are smiling back there. Okay, and then deduction of the strategic objectives. And then the next stage is to challenge them. And that's why we say what? Come up with some suggestions. We scholars are very good at what? Analyzing the problem, talking about the problem, but we are terrible in making suggestions. This time you are pushed to learn how to make policy recommendations, not just for research. Then you connect the strategy with the objectives. And then you determine the measured values, and then determine the assigned values, and then determine the strategic activities, and then you interconnect with operational planning. So that means now you have to work with ECOWAS, so that way they feel as part of the process. Because at the end of the day, it's ECOWAS that has to implement. But they now are going to be dependent on your brain, because you are the brain that is going to bring this thing and help ECOWAS to fruition. So what is this e-clustering? The e-clustering strategy, as I show here, we allow the interconnection of governmental, administration, geographical, higher education, research and research customers, population, commodities, interest, political pressure groups, communication, security, transportation, internationalization, health, tourism, religious, and refugees. And the blessing of the MIRA program is what? All of these things in the background, and when they introduce themselves, you have people who already are working in these fields. So they have the brain power to be a very great success if you decide to confront or request that ECOWAS consider what you are doing. And just quickly, because to talk about the details will take forever, you see that in places where the table is 2-3 pages, I just use the first 3 countries that come up on the chart. And you can see when you look at governmental clusters, the government systems are pretty much the same along all the ECOWAS countries. So they shouldn't have difficulty in really, at the governmental level, to implement or to accept what suggestions are made. because they will be backed with sound scientific evidence. And then we see that the majority of the countries are presidential republics. They all have heads of state. Only 2 countries have semi-presidential republics, where they have the parliament and the cabinet are collectively responsible.